day is finally upon us, and the ICC Men's Cricket World Cup is all set to officially kick off today, with defending champions England taking on 2019 runners-up New Zealand in the first match of the tournament at the 𝗟𝗓𝗡𝗢𝗓 Stadium in Ahmedabad today. While England will look to start off on a winning note, the Black Caps will be looking to avenge their heartbreaking defeat of the 2019 finals. The 13th edition of the Men's ODI World Cup will comprise 45 league matches and 3 knockout matches. 10 teams, including Afghanistan, Australia, Bangladesh, England, India, Netherlands, New Zealand, Pakistan, South Africa and Sri Lanka, will compete against each other in the much-awaited tournament. Meanwhile, Team India will start their campaign on October 8 against Australia at the 𝗟𝗡𝗙𝗙𝗏𝗡 Stadium in Chennai. Furthermore, the much-awaited clash between India and Pakistan will take place on October 14 at the 𝗟𝗓𝗡𝗢𝗓 Stadium in Ahmedabad. And there are 6 day matches, while the rest are day-night matches, and the day matches will start at 10:30 a.m. and the day-night matches will begin at 2 p.m. And to give us more insights on this big day today, we have a senior desk editor from our newsroom. Well, Ronak, it doesn't get bigger than this for cricket lovers. Fans will be hooked to their screens for the World Cup opener today. So tell us, what can we expect today?
Yes, absolutely, Reshma. The excitement cannot get any higher, isn't it? Because all the cricket lovers will be glued to their screens today as the defending champions England will be taking on New Zealand. Now, talking about this opening match today, this will obviously be a test of strength for England to show that they still have the mettle, they still have the players to win the World Cup a second time on the trot. But on the other hand, for the Kiwis, it will be sort of like avenging their heartbreaking loss in the previous World Cup encounter against England. So a lot to play for as far as this first match today is concerned, which will be live from 2 p.m. onwards. This is of course one of the day and night matches. There will also be a number of day matches which will begin around 10:30 a.m. but today's opener is scheduled to begin at 2 p.m. from the 𝗟𝗓𝗡𝗢𝗓 Stadium in Ahmedabad, which of course will also be hosting 2 other very crucial matches, very highly anticipated matches. One of course is the October 14th match between India and arch rivals Pakistan at the 𝗟𝗓𝗡𝗢𝗓 Stadium, and of course also the World Cup finals will also be hosted at the very same stadium. Now let's talk about the Indian cricket team and their preparations, and how does the team look like heading into this World Cup. Well, of course we know that India will be starting their campaign against Australia in Chennai, but before that, of course, something which comes as a bit of a point of bother for India is that all of their warm-up matches were washed out. So no warm-up matches for India. Every single one of them were washed out, including the one which was scheduled to take place right here at the 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗢𝗓 Cricket Stadium in Guwahati. So that is something that will be a bit of a bother, because they have not gotten any of the warm-up matches in due to rain playing spoil sport every single time. So that is something going into the World Cup will be a bit of a bother. However, for India, they will take heart from the fact that all their key players have peaked at the absolute right time, isn't it? You could not expect India's top players to have peaked at a better time than right before the World Cup. Let's talk about the batting order first. Well, the likes of Shubman Gill, Rohit Sharma, they have definitely peaked right before the World Cup. Their performance heading into this world event was absolutely top-notch. If we talk about the Asia Cup, where India have very convincingly defeated Sri Lanka in the finals, the batsman had a very key role to play, and Shubman Gill has been in top-notch form, and he did himself say that he is speaking at the right time, and this is absolutely very good news as far as India is concerned. That is something that will be a big boost to the side, because India, let's not forget, has been waiting for a World Cup victory victory of any sort, whether it be the ODI World Cup or the T20 World Cup for that matter, for more than 12 years now. The last time that India won an ICC tournament was back in 2013 when they won the Champions Trophy, but that has been more than 12 years ago now. So, you know, all eyes will be on the squad. And talking about the squad itself, you know, India will be a very happy side, because if we look at the T20 World Cup, many of India's senior players who are match winners were out with injuries, but that is not the case here. The biggest point, the biggest positive for India heading into the World Cup is that their most experienced speedster, most experienced fast bowler, 𝗟𝗓𝗏𝗡 𝗡𝗢𝗡 is back and is in good touch. That is what he has displayed as far as the Asian Games is concerned. That is what we got to see even in the T20 series that was held before the Asia Cup against Ireland, where 𝗟𝗓𝗏𝗡 𝗡𝗢𝗏 was the captain. He did seem in very good touch. These are things that will definitely work in India's favor. And let's also talk about the other batsmen in the lineup. Shreyas Iyer, then we have your 𝗟𝗓𝗏𝗘. These are all players who are also back in the team after prolonged injuries, and they too look in very good form. We saw how they played in the ODI series against Australia. Shreyas Iyer looked in absolute top-notch form. So did the likes of 𝗟𝗓𝗏𝗘, who has been a very, very important, you know, player for India as far as the Asia Cup is concerned. He played a very key role in ensuring that India wins their record 8th Asia Cup title. And also, let's talk about the bowling order as well. If we look at the bowling order, the biggest takeaway, of course, as I said, is that 𝗟𝗓𝗏𝗡 𝗡𝗢𝗏 is back into the side to lead the pace attack. And besides 𝗟𝗓𝗏𝗡 𝗡𝗢𝗏, another player to look out for, of course, no doubt, would be Mohammad Siraj, as he has been in absolute top-notch form. We saw how he rattled the Sri Lankan batting order in the Asia Cup final. So we will, a lot of hopes rest on the young speedster to once again deliver for Team India in the World Cup as well. But you know, if you ask me, Reshma, the biggest strength of India right now going into the World Cup would be India's spin department, as Kuldeep Yadav has been in absolute brilliant form, and not to mention Ravindra Jadeja. Even though he has not been in the thick of wickets, his economy rate has been something that has really helped India to curb the flow of runs of the opposition. That is something that has also helped India a lot in the previous games leading up to the World Cup. And of course, if Ravichandran Ashwin also steps in place of Akshar Patel, who has been ruled out due to another injury, then that will complete the trio of spin attack for India, which will definitely give them an edge over the other teams in this showpiece event. So all things looking good for India, if only the top order of the Indian batting lineup delivers as it is supposed to. Then I think India, also having the comfort of playing at home in the conditions that India knows all too well, things are looking very, very positive for India to bring the World Cup home after more than 12 years, Reshma.